Never let anybody see you sweat.
So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener. I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw. Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with the show.
Rose Winthrop claims her daughter learned nothing at art camp because the teacher did the drawings, so she wants a refund. Sarah O'Malley says the child was bored and she kept her engaged. The defendant is countersuing in the amount of $1,100.
Okay, Ms. Winthrop, you are suing your daughter's former art teacher, Ms. O'Malley, for $825 that you want returned to you because, according to you, she didn't teach your daughter. You are counterclaiming $1,100 for defamation. Let me hear from you first. Go ahead.
That's correct. I'll just start at the beginning. My daughter Riley is 9 years old. She was 8 at the time of the summer camp. And unfortunately, she went into the camp bright-eyed, very excited. In fact, we chose this camp specially. I'd gotten a recommendation from my friend. And so the first 2 weeks, she seemed to be enjoying herself, learning ceramics and drawing and painting and all these things. But things took a turn at the third week when it was—
How long a camp was it? 3 weeks?
It was a 3-week camp, but they were 8 weeks total in her program. So it became very obvious that my daughter was not completing the art projects by the third week and that Mrs. O'Malley was.
So on week 1 and week 2, everything's fine. Mm-hmm. It's week 3 that you have a problem, and what causes you to be suspicious?
It's very obvious that my daughter didn't make these drawings, and I can show you evidence. I'm very happy to.
Okay, are these drawings that went home on the 3rd week?
Yes.
Okay, can I see it?
Mm-hmm. So first I'm going to show you the first week's drawing, and then I'm going to show you the 3rd week's drawing.
So the first week's drawing,
the red
this
one.
comes home, I guess the assignment was draw a horse?
Yes.
Okay.
That's one of the medias that was used. We used the colored pencil.
Okay. And then in week 3, you get this back.
Your Honor, yes, it's very clear my daughter didn't make that after the drawing that you saw first.
Okay. When this came home, did you ask your daughter, honey, did you do this drawing?
Absolutely.
And what'd she say?
And she said, I got help. So I said, okay, that's fair. And then I asked her more questions, and then she said, no, my teacher, I made the grass at the bottom, and my teacher completed the rest of it overnight.
Wait, then completed? So your daughter did none of the horse?
She did the grass.
Listen to my question, though. Is your daughter saying she didn't do any of the horse?
She did not do any of the horse.
Okay, so did you talk to the teacher?
Of course, I called her up, and I asked her.
And what did you say?
And I said, are you drawing for my daughter? And she said yes. She confirmed it.
What did she say was the reason she was drawing for your daughter?
Well, she said that there are parents who complain often about the class and the students not doing the assignments, and she needs occasionally to do the assignments for them. And I felt that, okay, she's scamming me because I'm not—
Why does that naturally translate to scam as opposed to she's trying to help your daughter?
Because my daughter didn't do this artwork.
It is a little odd that you sent that home as though it were the kid's artwork when it's not the kid's artwork.
Well, the thing is, that's 2 different types of media, and that was not the first week that she was drawing that horse. And now with the 3rd week, she was disengaged because it was like the same classes like being repeated, and like for every week
Why don't you engage them by not repeating the same classes? What do you mean by that?
Well, the thing is, like, she got bored because it's the same art lesson that's, like, for the first week, we have different lessons, but the 2nd week, it repeats the same cycle again.
So she puts her in there as many times as she wants to, but she's actually repeating
which was not outlined to me whatsoever.
Do you tell that to the parents?
Oh, well, that was listed on the website.
It was not listed on the website.
And you read the description, it tells exactly what's going on.
So it's really a 1-week camp.
Yeah,
that you
it's a
offer
1-week
for
camp,
8 weeks. What reasoning did you give her for why it is that you did so much of the drawing?
A lot of children, they don't fully finish their assignments, and I have to keep them as engaged as possible. And I have complaints.
Doing the art for them isn't keeping them engaged. That's you doing the art for them. So
it's difficult when I have parents coming back to me and complaining constantly that their children aren't completing the assignments.
Am I the only one who sends an 8-year-old to art camp and really doesn't care how she comes out of it after 3 weeks? I mean, I don't think I'm going to get a Picasso after 3 weeks.
Thank you.
I just am happy for the babysitter of art camp for 3 weeks. Am I the only one who feels that way? I don't know. So the parents are.
It's a lot, but I love children. I love children. It's
right. So are the parents literally expecting to see improvement in their child's artwork in 3 weeks?
Well, I'd say 3 weeks would make sense, but the first week, it's like an introduction, of course.
Parents have a very high tolerance for their children's garbage. I have huge Tupperwares at home in each of their closets to prove it. The teacher will be doing it for them so that they sign up for more classes. Why would you make that statement when you know that's not true? Your own daughter told you she's doing art.
And later.
So I go look for the coat in the closet. It's not there.
So you ask her, hey, where's my coat? I can't find it. What did she say?
She said, oh, I lent it to my brother.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Rose Winthrop, who is suing Sarah O'Malley for forging her daughter's drawings.
Now, Ms. Winthrop, you're suing to get your entire $825 back when, let's be honest, a lot of art, of any camp, is, you know, you don't send your kid to soccer camp because you expect them to become Pele in 3 weeks, okay? You know, and I know, that part of it is supervision. So on what planet would you be entitled to $825 as opposed to just being entitled to say, you know what, I'm not sending her anymore because I don't like her tactic, you know?
I have to be honest, I don't know to what extent the other week she was doing this exact same thing. For all I know, my daughter could have been doing the outline for the horses on the first week as well, and she's filling in however she sees fit. I have no proof.
Well, I'm pretty sure she didn't have anything to do with this one.
She could have. I don't know. I don't know.
I hope not, because
I don't know what kind of camp she's running.
Can I ask you something? How many art pieces did you end up with from art camp?
At least 30 or so.
Okay. And did you ever ask your daughter which of these did you do? And she had basically done all of them except for the horse?
She said it's just one of the few examples. I mean, she had completed several of the paintings.
When you say completed, you know, you say completed and she feels like she's instructing them when she completes. I don't think you send home this when you did all of it and make it look like, I think that's deceptive. But I don't understand you feeling like you should get all of your money back when you had childcare for that child for 3 weeks and she was engaged and entertained and had fun and made friends. If you just feel like your daughter's artistic skills did not develop, don't send her again. If you feel that she was a little less than honest, don't send her again. In fact, what you did is not only sue for the $825, what you did was you ended up posting a negative review, and that brings us to your counterclaim of $1,100 against her because several parents bailed out of the program when they read her review. What is it that you posted in your review?
I posted that if a parent wants to go ahead and waste their money, that they should go ahead and sign their kid up for this class because, as far as I'm concerned, my daughter didn't learn anything. And that she was
Well, let's be precise. I want to warn any parents considering wasting their time with O'Malley Art Education Camp that it is a total scam. Yesterday, I called wondering why my daughter's art skill had improved seemingly overnight, and Sarah confirmed she was doing the art herself, so her camp would look better than it is. This is completely crazy. At O'Malley Art Education, your child won't be doing any art at all. The teacher will be doing it for them so that they sign up for more classes. Why would you make that statement when you know that's not true? Your own daughter told you she's doing art. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement on your part when you know it's not true.
I don't know to what extent.
That's right. So you can't make a categorical statement that your child's not going to be doing any art at all. Why do you make that statement?
It felt fair. After 3 years of the pandemic, my daughter really needed some reintroduction to skills that she'd wanted to pursue.
Right, but so why did your child do any art at all?
She did some, but I don't.
Okay, so why, no, you gotta stop, because here's where the problem lies. People think that their right to free speech allows them to say anything. It doesn't. You can't lie about someone's business. You have to be dead on accurate. It's a problem, because I see the 3 emails where she actually lost all that business, and she's arguing to me that it's because of her review. How do you know it's because of her review?
Because not only I got those emails, but also my business declined, and I've gotten a lot less people signing up for my classes. And
they actually mention in the email after that review.
Yeah, and I tried to explain the situation, and
I mean, when a situation like this arises, your option is to post an answer and show the other side. When I read good reviews and then I read one negative review, I don't give that all that much weight unless I read more negative reviews. But I got to tell you, your practice of, I don't want to hear the parents complaining, so I finished it. It's not only a terrible thing to do, it's a really terrible thing to confess to the parent who's calling and complaining. I am not talking to you. You need to be a better businesswoman than that. All right? And if you are admitting too many children into the art camp that has become a challenge for you and you're shortchanged, then don't admit that many children into the art camp. I know it's more money for you, but unless you're able to give them something worthwhile, it becomes a problem, okay? You have put me in a really bad position, Ms. Winthrop, because people sue for defamation all the time and they have no case. She actually has a case because, according to your own admission, the statement you made is not a truthful statement. On your lawsuit against her, 0. And on her lawsuit against you, I'm finding in her favor in the amount of the $1,100. Even though I think that her finishing your daughter's artwork was bad, what you did was a lie, and I can't let it go unnoticed when she brings me all this proof of the number of people who bailed out because you said your child won't be doing any art at all, which you know you don't have the evidence to say because your own daughter told you that she did art. Verdict for the defendant on your lawsuit against her, 0.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff owes $1,100.
I wish I could have cleared this out with you better, in person preferably.
I trusted you with my daughter, and quite frankly, I think you should finish art school before you try finishing my 9-year-old kid's art.
Coming up.
Did the brother call you and say, can I borrow your coat? None of that.
Didn't hear anything.
All right, so you find out about it after the fact, and then you say, well, I need it, and what does she say?
She said, let me talk to him. And then he tells us that he lost it. He left it at the venue at the wedding.
You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. Jake Lawson claims his stylish wool coat was lost after his ex-fiancée loaned it to her brother. Vanessa Henderson says her ex hardly wore the coat, and she didn't think he'd notice it was missing.
All right, Mr. Lawson, you're here suing your ex-fiancée for $556.67 because she loaned out a coat of yours and it has been lost. How long were the two of you dating?
We were dating for about a year, and then I proposed, and we moved in together.
Okay. So what happened?
So I went to go look for my coat in the closet, where it always is.
And tell me about this coat.
So it's a beautiful wool coat, Your Honor. I got it on sale for $200. It was the off-season. And we're from Houston, so it's not cold all the time, but when the winter comes, got to use a coat sometimes.
Right.
So I go look for the coat in the closet. It's not there.
So you ask her, hey, where's my coat? I can't find it. What did she say?
She said, oh, I lent it to my brother.
Oh. And when had she lent it to her brother?
About a week before. He was going to a wedding out of state.
Did she mention to you that she was going to loan it to your brother? Or could she loan it? Or could her brother did the brother call you and say, can I borrow your coat? None of that.
Didn't hear anything.
All right. So you find out about it after the fact, and then you say, well, I need it. And what does she say?
She said, let me talk to him.
Okay.
And then he tells us that he lost it. He left it at the venue at the wedding.
All right, Ms. Henderson, what happened here?
So, like he said, I let my brother borrow his coat.
Why?
My family shares everything. We always have. He's an only child. He doesn't understand how to share.
Well, I think it's very generous of you to share your things, but you're sharing someone else's. So did it occur to you to ask him before you did that?
I didn't even think about it. I didn't think it would be a big deal.
Coming up.
So the coat gets lost, your brother doesn't even have the decency to call him and apologize, and then what happens? You end up sending him $100.
Yeah.
You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Jake Lawson, who blames Vanessa Henderson for losing his expensive coat.
I don't understand how you felt at liberty to give away someone else's clothing without even telling them. It's not like you told them that night. You just didn't tell them.
Well, it didn't occur to me, mainly because he never wears the coat either, because it's so warm in Houston that he's
So
never
you decided he didn't really
using
need
it.
his coat?
It's not that he didn't need it. It's just that I didn't think he would even really notice.
So were you doing it behind his back? Did you hope to get the coat back, not tell him about it, and get it back in the closet before he could notice?
I had no issue communicating about it later.
Did you hear my question?
No.
I want to know what was in your head. That's all. It doesn't matter. Just be honest. In your mind, were you saying to yourself, yeah, let me solve my brother's problem. He won't even notice it.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I thought I could get away with it.
That's why your engagement broke up. That's
over
why.
a coat, yes.
No. Not over a coat. You see? Not over a coat. What it broke up over is that he feels second best, and you proved it to him. And he doesn't want to start a life with someone where he comes in second. You understand? But in any event, let's talk about the coat. So the coat gets lost. Your brother doesn't even have the decency to call him and apologize. And then what happens? You end up sending him $100.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sent him $100 and what? And you thought that was going to stop things?
I thought it would docile things a little bit.
Okay, and did it?
No.
And then you sent him another $100 and said,
price
now
of
we're
the
even
coat
because
that
you
he
paid
spent.
$200 for the coat. And he didn't feel like that was even because he may have paid $200 for the coat, but it was a $700 coat, right?
Exactly. He would have never spent $700 on a coat in the first place.
Judge Milian's verdict when justice for the people returns.
So let me explain the law to both of you. First of all, you have absolutely no legal authority to loan out someone else's property. You needed to have asked him whether you could do it or asked him to do it, and he makes the decision whether he wants to do it. I think it's pretty clear to anybody within the sound of my voice that the reason you didn't is because you knew he'd say no, and you were picking your brother first, and you wanted your brother to have a coat. Well, how did that turn out? So here we are. But the law is not replacement value. The law is if someone does something wrong and costs you an item, it's the depreciated value of the item at the time of the bad. The bad happened just the other day, and it's the depreciated item of the value 6 months later. And you may say, oh, it was brand new, and yeah, I understand that. You know, you wore it once or whatever it was, then he wore it once. But, you know, I realize what you're saying, that it's brand new and whatever else. It's still what the market value of a used coat is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
It's no longer the $700 at the Shishi department store. That's not how it works. I am assessing the value of the coat depreciated at $350. She's paid $200. I'm going to order you to pay another $150. Verdict for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $150.
Well, at least some justice has been served. Maybe my new jacket will keep me warmer than you ever did.
I think that I dodged a bullet, and I hope you enjoy your new coat.
Exit this way, please.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.